Public hearings on multiple bills were held in Augusta today to try and help Maine's hunger issues. One of them would add money going into the statewide hunger relief program. It was proposed by a Democratic representative and went in front of the Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry. Currently, the program gets $1 million for the Mainers Feeding Mainers program. This bill would kick the total up to $2 million. The program partners with Good Shepherd Food Bank and focuses on feeding the hungry while also propping up Maine farms. While those on the committee on the other side of the aisle mentioned support in the program, they emphasized the importance of small Maine farms also getting a cut.
My only concern is that we make sure that we spend the money on local farmers and that there's a fair, way to solicit that food, that 2 or 3 large farms don't get it all.
I volunteer at my local food pantry where we have been busier than ever. I will always recall the mom who came to pick up food with tears in her eyes because she was ashamed that she couldn't afford food for her children. This bill will help our community members who are struggling more than ever to put food on their tables.
The bill will now move towards a work session before being voted on by the committee. The committee also heard from the public about a similar bill that focuses on the fund to address food insecurity.